learn more. Hey guys, so I'll just wait for some people to get on here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have my iPad over here with, so I can look at the chat so I can answer your questions and stuff. So I realized I had my sound up, so that's why I was hearing a back. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? I have my little notes here because you guys know I have to have notes for everything, but I think I'm just gonna have to set them over there. I've never done like the live thing by myself and the setup, and I messed up on the setup the first time I ever did live, so we'll see how this goes. So hi Amanda, hi Krista, Shirley, Gail, hi everyone. How exciting. I'm thinking we'll just see how these go. Right now I have Fridays off, so we'll just see how this goes, and I may just do these every Friday. We'll see how many people can turn up for them on a Friday. I thought if I did them, I know probably quite a few of my viewers are in either Central Time Zone or Eastern, so I thought, well, this may hit around lunchtime for people, and I don't know, we'll just see how it goes as far as time, but I'm kind of planning out some topics to talk about at the next ones as well. So I see people are coming on. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat over here so I can answer any questions. I'm going to try to angle it differently. So I had to do it like this, and so my dog is in here, and a lot of people like to see my dog, but I couldn't put it in front of my bed because I needed somewhere to put my iPad to be able to look at everything. So so anyway, so let's see, we have quite a few people watching, so thank you everyone. Oh, I have someone from Ireland. Hi Annette, how exciting. I didn't even know I had very many international people. So we have Canada and Florida and Ontario. So hey, thank you guys. So I think I'll just go ahead and start because I don't want to, I plan on this probably not being any longer than an hour. But I wanted to start first off with a challenge that I want to do for July, and I am hoping that some of you will participate because the way I'm setting it up is that you guys will be able to participate. So I created a calendar that has some things like, I think I have bicep curls and crunches and lunges and squats, and of course you could do anything you want, but I created an entire calendar for it, and I'm going to put it on Google Docs. And oh, somebody from England. Hi, Gail. I'm going to put it on Google Docs so you guys can all access it. But I'm also thinking along the lines of also possibly doing some other like mini challenges through the month. I had some people asking about that, and that could just be what we could just think of some things like, you know, okay, let's make this a good week of tracking our water, or, you know, I don't know, something, you know, getting your steps in, or just anything. And actually I'm thinking of just doing so many challenges where you guys create your own challenges, but then we track them on a Google Docs spreadsheet that if you guys give me your email address, I can give you access to, and then we can all just kind of track it and just see how everyone's progress is doing. So let me know if you think that would be something that you guys would want to do. I literally only have like a week left before July starts. It's crazy, I know. In a way, I'm kind of happy because June is crazy at my job, and I'm hoping July gives us a little bit of breather. And so, hi Mona. And anywho, so I'm hoping to maybe do something like that. So let me know if that's something you guys could participate in. And like I said, just be just some mini challenges that we could come up with and keep track of them. And then everybody could see everybody's progress. And we could even I could do like a live or something where I could, you know, we could talk about it, who all who all accomplished their goals and what everybody's goals were. But the actual like July challenge, oh, I should have brought my planner in here. I actually did a whole like page in my bullet journal so I could track them. And the way I did it on the calendar is I even have little check boxes because there may be a time when I cannot do all the bicep curls, all the squats, all the lunges, and all the crunches before I leave for work. And so that way I can do some, and maybe I could do some of them when I'm at work, maybe the squats. I don't know. I'm not gonna like, there's not very many people at work this time of year, but I don't think I'm gonna get down on the floor and do some crunches. But anyway, so I thought that would be kind of fun to do. So I will have that in the link in the description box of this video, but I'm going to start putting it into all of my videos so that way everybody can access that calendar. And it's a really just simple calendar that I created, nothing fancy or anything like that. So that is the first thing I want to talk about because I think the rest of the things I want to talk about are going to take a long time. So I just wanted to get that out of the way for those challenges. And yes, somebody just talked about Simply Filling. So yes, I'm going to be talking about Simply Filling. Let me look and see if there's any questions at all. So everybody's just saying, hi, Indiana, Texas. Oh, so fun fact, I want to move to Texas one day. My husband's from Oklahoma and we have gone back there a few times to visit. And every time we had to fly into Texas because that was the closest airport. And every time I was there, it's just, I don't know, something about the state like drew me in like crazy. And I always told my husband, I'm like, I want to retire in Texas. So anyway, that is one of my things I'd love to do. So what is the challenge? So yeah, maybe I started a little bit too soon talking about the challenge. So I'll just very quickly talk about that again. So Deborah, the challenge, what I was going to do is, so I have a calendar that's the whole month of July that has different things like bicep curls and squats and lunges and crunches. And there's so many that you have to do each day and there's a little checkbox to check them off. So that's the main challenge. And then I wanted to do something where we come up with mini challenges throughout the month. And I'll talk about more about those in all my videos. So I'll probably do a dedicated video just about the challenges. So maybe I'll do that next week, just going into July after I kind of iron out the details. But it would be set up through Google Docs where if you give me your email address, I can give you access to it. And hi, Barrett. And everybody can go in there and update your progress. So work in progress, and it may like kind of go into July till I figure it all out. Let's see. So we have Mississippi, Massachusetts, New Jersey, lots of people upstate New York. Yay, and people are here on their lunch break, so I'm glad I was able to time that. I have an Alabama. Oh, Mimi, she's been watching me forever. Okay, so let's talk about weigh-in. So it's kind of funny. It's like my body, like whenever I say I am disappointed and I want to change things up, and am I freezing up? Oh, there we go. It's just like my body was just like, how dare you? And I have a good loss. So you guys, I don't know if you guys know, I've been weighing every day using the Happy Scale app. I did mention it. And I have been tracking every single day my weight, and I want to do that for a couple of months. I want to do it for June and July for sure, because I'm going into my doctor on July 31st. And one of the things I plan on bringing up to him is what is going on. You know, I mean, and it could be a lot of things. I've had a ton of people say maybe it's like, what do they call it, perimenopause, something like that. So I have been really like want to track, you know, my cycle. I want to track my weight, and just that way I can go in there with a lot of data with him, and we can kind of talk about it and figure out what next steps to do. So that's one of the things. So it's kind of interesting is, so today when I weighed in, I was 1 pound down from where I was last Friday. But also during the week, there's a couple times that I was 5 pounds down, 2.2 down, 2 pounds down. There was a day that I was up like 2.6 pounds. So it is crazy how my body fluctuates. And I've noticed that through the entire month, it's just been fluctuating like crazy. But technically I am down a pound this week. So yay, that's exciting. And what did I do different this week? Honestly, I was totally kind of out of the game this week. I think because I knew that I wanted to do something different the next couple weeks and the next month or so. And so I think that my mind was really kind of out of it. And it's kind of funny because you guys probably all know Brianna over at Diva and the Divine. And she's been talking about on her Instagram videos. And I think this is kind of what was in my mind all week. She's been talking about this new kind of niche she wants to get into, and it's and I'll link her channel down below. And it's like kind of being like on a diet without feeling like you're on a diet. I'm totally butchering that. She is so much better at articulating exactly what she wants to be and what she actually already has been on her channel. She's very she is very good at being motivating and articulating those kind of things, and she already kind of does that. And she does Points Plus, and so one of the things she was talking about all week was being a diet without being on a diet type thing. And I kept thinking all week, you know, that's kind of how I was feeling. Like I still have my, you know, full, like I don't use the fat-free half and half anymore. I don't use the fat-free cottage cheese anymore. I still eat the non-fat yogurt, but I actually tried, I did buy some whole milk yogurt and I actually didn't like it. And I think it's just because I'm not like really a huge dairy fan when it comes to like drinking milk. I don't drink milk. But I really just didn't think about it, and I honestly didn't do the best with tracking this week, but I also just wasn't super hungry this week. And I think it was just because work has been really stressful last 2 weeks, but it's been really busy too. And then the things with my car, you know, I was supposed to get my car back today, not getting it back today. It doesn't look like, I don't know. The insurance company called yesterday and said, probably not getting it back tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So, that was, that's kind of on my mind. So I just haven't been really hungry all week. So I really haven't been eating a whole lot. But when I have been eating, I even didn't have any fat-free cheese because my stores haven't had it. And so I had like a salad with some full-fat cheese on there. I had a salad with a half of an avocado on there, and I didn't weigh it. And, really I just kind of went into this week without being in any kind of mode. And I don't think that's a good place for me to be. I know it's not a good place for me to be because for the longest time, I was fantastic at maintaining. I'd stayed between like 195 to like 188 for the longest time, for almost a year and a half. And I just kind of just maintained that and not trying to. I was trying to lose, but it just wasn't, nothing was happening. And then in October, I hit 185. And then from there on out, it's just, I've been gaining since then. And I didn't even do terrible around the holidays. Like we didn't even have holiday parties to go to. Our schedules couldn't jive with my family, so we didn't even do like a family thing. So it was really just stayed home, and so there wasn't a lot of craziness going on. But my body has just decided to stop maintaining, so that means I need to do something, but that's why I need to find out what's going on. So yes, I'm happy about a pound. I am not going to disparage that at all because that is fantastic and I'm excited about it. But I still feel like I can't say, okay, yeah, see now my body is responding because this has been happening. I actually went through my Weight Watcher tracker and weight tracker, and I went through and I was just like, okay, this has just been a constant, up 2 pounds, down, 1.8 pounds, up 3 pounds, down 2.6 pounds. It was never like I never lost exactly what I gained. It was always just a little bit under, and that's where all these gains have come from then, because I would have a big gain and then just a little loss. And then it was just like back and forth, but I never actually lost the full gain. So I think that's how these 20, 25 pounds have like came on, because they all add up over the period of whatever October through now is, so actually when I started looking at it that way, because at first I was like, where did this come from? How did it come on so fast? It didn't come on fast. It definitely did not come on fast after I started looking at my tracker. That right there is a good reason to log your weight no matter what is happening. Just always log your weight no matter what is happening. Hold on, I have a troll that I need to get rid of. Okay, there we go. So just always do it. Even if you know you're going to gain, you're going to have a terrible week, you need that data. Definitely need that data, because if I wouldn't have had that data, I honestly wouldn't have been able to look back on it and see where it all came from. So, however, it's like, I don't know also why I can't it's like I cannot have any more like larger losses. I don't know what's going on. It's like, am I drinking too much water, not enough water? Or do I just drink when I'm thirsty? You're hearing all these things all over the place. Just drink when you're thirsty. Drink, half your body weight in water. Don't drink that much water because your body will retain it. What the heck are we supposed to do? That's kind of where my mind's at right now. And in the past, I just drank when I was thirsty. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? That's what I think I need to do. Just drink when I'm thirsty. Reach for water first. If I'm thirsty, reach for water first. Don't reach for anything else. Although I have not had my coffee today. This is my first coffee, so I'm going to reach for my coffee right now. But I do have my water right next to me. So that is something that those are those little things that we hear, and it's like, what I really feel like it has to do with your body. I know it does, because there's some people, or maybe how active you are. It's like I try to be active. You guys know my struggle with working out. It's a terrible struggle. I subscribe to Daily Burn. I'm paying for it. I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite at-home workout that I've ever done. And I have a drawer full, I moved it over there, of DVD workout videos. I have so many. I have that Wii Fit thing. I have so many things that I have tried for at-home workouts, and the best by far has been the Daily Burn, and they're just workout videos. And yes, I can find some of them. I can find some other ones on YouTube. So like Fitness Blender is what I used before, but it's just not, to me, it's not as, I like it, but it's just one person in front of the screen. And for some reason, something about group workouts when you're working out at home is just kind of motivating. So I really like the big group workouts on Daily Burn, or they sometimes have just a single one, but those are the 10-minute long ones, which they're quick and fast, and they're muscle burning, believe me. Somebody mentioned something about maybe it's gain for muscle. I don't work out enough to gain anything for muscle. I don't. The heaviest weights I have are like 7 pounds, I think. I have like 3, 5, and 7 weights for arms, and I do tend to go between the 5 and the 7, but it's definitely not. And then I just don't do enough to be able for it to be like muscle gain, because I don't. Now, I have to tell you, when I do work out, I feel really good the rest of the day, but getting that motivation to do it, and I've tried everything that they tell you to try. They tell you, it's like, be ready in the morning. I get up at 4:15, 4:30 in the morning just to do my workout, and to get myself in there to do it, is so hard. I cannot stand to exercise. Like I said, I like how I feel afterwards. I don't have the motivation to do it, I guess I should say. I just don't like it. And actually, even while I'm doing it, it's not terrible, but it's just getting yourself into that mindset to do it. And really, I think that's what all this is. I think it's my mind. I think right now my mind is just not into it. I want to lose the weight. It's not that, but my mind right now is not into the program. And I'm really struggling with figuring out what I need to do. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do Simply Filling, because I've been watching back at some of my old videos, of my Simply Filling videos, to try to figure out, because it's really hard right now since Weight Watchers doesn't support the program anymore. Okay, for those of you who are new to Weight Watchers and don't know what Simply Filling is, I'm going to direct you to the video that Cherie and Molly just did. I think they called it Simply Filling 101. It was a live chat they did. I'll link the channel down below. And it's the Motivated Muffins channel. I will link the channel and her video down below. Watch that. It gives you a lot of information about what Simply Filling is. It was a program that used to be supported by Weight Watchers, and there's basically just a list of things that you eat off of. So for sure, for the next week or two, I will be doing Simply Filling, just because I do want to go back to it again. It's something that I did enjoy doing. The only part of it that I don't like is the fact that you have to have all like fat-free, like dairy and stuff, and I just got myself away from that. But I think that I do like skim milk in my coffee. That is something that I still have when I get like a coffee at Starbucks. I get it with non-fat milk type thing. So that's not a big deal. But I could just count the points for the half and half too as well. That's the only thing I can think of on the list that is something that I've kind of gone away from. So I am going to try Simply Filling for a couple weeks. And then after that, I think I may go back to calorie counting for a while. I did that for a long time before Weight Watchers and actually lost like half of the weight that I lost before I got onto Weight Watchers. So I lost like 45 pounds on calorie counting and just tracking my macros. And then I honestly it's kind of like what is now, where I just got bored with it. I got to the point to where I just wasn't into it anymore. I got to where I was just tired of it. I don't know. It was weird. It's like I said, it's my brain is what it is. Because I think ultimately I just want to be where I am just eating healthy foods and just eating the foods that my body reacts to well. I don't know. I feel like I'm just all over the place. That's the only thing with these live videos is that you get all over the place. You can't edit it and put it all back together. So kind of to backtrack back to January, because I had a lot of people tell me maybe your body is intolerant to something. So I did around a Whole30, cut out, dairy, cut out, everything, your sugar, cut out all the things you're supposed to cut out with Whole30. And then I introduced them back in, no change. I actually gained like 3 or 4 pounds the month of January when I was on Whole30. And really it just hasn't been great since then. So obviously I'm not intolerant to dairy. I'm not intolerant to grains. I'm not intolerant to the things that, sugar, I know I shouldn't even have sugar because I can tell I do have an addiction to sugar. So I do have to be careful with my sugar. I'm trying to get away from, a little bit away from some of the really bad artificial sweeteners. So I've been trying to stick to some other ones. But I don't know. So I don't know. I don't think it's an intolerance. For those of you who may be new to my channel, I already know I have a thyroid issue, and I just recently had a full panel blood work done in April to make sure that there was nothing else, that it wasn't, I had them do those extra tests on your, what is it called? I don't remember what it's called, but all of those T things that has to do with thyroid. He ran all of those, so nothing's wrong with my thyroid. It's where it should be. Or as close as it can get. Sometimes with your thyroid it's hard to get it's hard to get it exactly, of course, but it's at a good place. So I know it's not that. Yes, it could be. I have people mentioning menopause and stuff quite a bit. Yes, it definitely could be. I'm 44 years old, so for those of you who didn't know, I'm 44 years old. So I definitely could be leaning towards that point. So that is something I'm definitely already on my list to talk to my doctor about. That's another reason why I want to that I'm tracking my periods. And I know people are going to ask, I think it's called P-Tracker, something like that. It's just something really simple like that. I use that. So I've been tracking that, which, just to let you know, like the last 2 months, the day that my tracker tells me, it'll say T-1 day to period. Oh, yay, thank you. And it starts the next day. So the last 2 or 3 months, I have been right on. There's nothing been crazy going on with them. But yes, my stress level probably over the last 3 or 4 months has been skyrocketed. So I have been aware of that. And I have been trying to, rein it in the last couple months. And I feel like June has been fantastic with me reining in my stress. And what has been helping me with that more than anything is my new bullet journal. Again, I'm sorry I did not bring that in here. I can't pause the video and run and get it. But I have a mood tracker in there, and I'm gonna do it a little bit different for July. I think for June, I just did little boxes, and I just have the certain colors that says, I have like upbeat and happy, content, stressed, annoyed, angry, sad, and depressed. I felt like I have a couple other ones, but I've been coloring them in with the different colors. Well, it's like the first 2 weeks of June, it was crazy. Now, I did have my accident on June 3rd, and that's kind of, I think, what shaped a lot of my moods the first couple weeks. So, but it's eye-opening to sit there and track your moods, you guys. And I know there's probably apps to do it, but I'm such a visual person, and so seeing it in my bullet journal in color was so eye-opening. I think it was around the 8th or 9th of June when I looked in my journal and I saw all just the array of colors, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, well, it should be. I mean, for one thing, we're women, we have hormones, we have emotions, we have, lots of things going on. And so yes, it's gonna happen. But it was all over the place. And there was a lot of stress days and a lot of annoyed. That's the other one I have because I get very annoyed at work. So there was a lot of annoyed days. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that when I saw it on there, I was thinking, you know what? I think that I need to change some things up. So from then on out, I started, when I would find myself getting kind of annoyed at work, I was just like, I don't want to have my full square, because I do different colors on the squares. Like if my first part, and that's why I'm going to do different in July. I think I'm going to do like a bigger square and kind of have like AM, afternoon, PM, because that's how much my moods change. And my goal will kind of be to have no more than 2 colors in a day, hopefully just a one day, and it's a pink, because pink is upbeat and happy, because pink is my color. So I'm hoping that that's, you know, something that is that I'm going to do for July. I'm going to do those separate days and hope just that I have, you know, just a few colors, 1 or 2 colors on there. But it has helped me because I saw it. And so now when I'm at work and I find myself getting kind of annoyed, it's just like, no, 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 no. I cannot let that take over my day. It hasn't always worked because sometimes you just can't stop yourself from being annoyed or stressed. But what my goal is, though, when lunchtime hits, I go to lunch and I come back and I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth my health, because it really does affect your health. Your moods and your attitude affects your health so much. Like people were saying on here, yes, cortisol is that stress hormone, and it's not good for anybody for that thing to be going all over the place. So that's something that I am definitely going to continue to do. So if you do any kind of tracking, and I highly suggest it on a piece of paper, even if you had it like on your refrigerator or something, but track your moods. I feel like, you know, that is something that you guys will really enjoy seeing the difference, and I think it'll help with your mindset. So that has really helped me this month. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, which I should have went on Instagram and said I was going to go live. So that's how I am such an amateur at this. I know a lot of people go on there like, I'm gonna go live in 10 minutes. So sorry, I forgot to do that. But however, if you guys notice on my Instagram, I have been trying to post a lot of positivity, like quotes and memes and hi Janet and things like that on there. And that's, you know, for you guys, but it's also for me as well, because I need them. And then I go back and I watch my stories and I'm just like, yes, that's exactly what I need to hear. And as I'm looking for the memes, it actually is very helpful as well. When I'm looking for those quotes and stuff, it is so helpful to go back and see those and to read those, and it really helps my mindset. So I'm gonna go real quick over here and see if there's any questions. So see, a lot of people are saying they have the exact same issue, and I should have my hormones checked. So, and I don't know anything about that. So anybody that can tell me anything about getting your hormones checked, like how do you get them checked, and is that something that I just should request from my doctor, or is it something that you think that he'll say? Maybe I should just request it, I guess. Yeah, so other people saying, you know, the same thing. Yes, I do like podcasts. I tend to listen though. I've tried to listen to some of the podcasts that are more the like motivating, but podcasts for me are kind of like books. I like to read books that they're entertaining. I've never been really good at reading like self-help books. And the same thing with podcasts, but I'll look these up, Bonnie. I'll look up, I've heard of Wise Advice actually. So I will definitely, I've never listened to him, but I have heard of him. And I see him come on, I think I follow him on Instagram because every once in a while it'll pop up saying he's going live. So I must follow him. So someone said, yeah, so a lot of people are talking about hormones. So it's good. I'm so glad that so many of you have been through this and that you think that possibly this could be it. Yes, Mimi, I know. My doctor is, honestly, I don't even want to go back, because the last time I went, I didn't actually go through a whole physical. The last time I went in April, I just went there to get my thyroid done. I couldn't make an appointment because my schedule at work was just too busy, and my doctor and me couldn't get our schedules to jive. And then he was on at a conference this week that I could go. And so anyway, oh, that wasn't a good idea. So anyway, July 31st was the first date that I could get in. And so, sorry. And so anyway, I didn't do the actual weight. I just went in there and we just talked briefly about my thyroid. And I didn't do the whole weight thing. And so we didn't approach the issue at that point, but I was nervous about him seeing my weight gain. I knew he was going to be happy. Erica's asking, is Truvia a good artificial sugar? Honestly, like, there is so much talk out there about artificial sweeteners. Now they say that because Truvia, that's the one from the stevia plant. You guys have to be honest, stevia is not my favorite. I don't mind it in baking, so I do use it. I use like the stevia, like the big bag that you can get like at Walmart and Costco. It's like for baking. I use that one for baking because I can't taste the flavor, but in my coffee, I cannot use stevia. Truvia is a little bit better, but I think for some reason I thought I read something about Truvia. Maybe it's not as pure as what people think. So anybody want to put anything in the chat in there if they know anything about Truvia? I honestly, like for the longest time, liked Splenda, and then I heard Splenda was terrible with people who have thyroid issues. I'm not sure which part of it was bad about it, but for some reason I had read that. And so I've been just trying to stay away from all of them, but I have been using stevia or Truvia is what I primarily use in my coffee. I did also use I know it's really bad, the blue one. I used that one for a long time because I always read that one didn't knock you out of fasting when I used to do intermittent fasting. And I know if I start talking about that, it'll be long too. But no, I've been trying to do that, but I've also been just trying to listen to my body and just thinking more about, like, if I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat, that kind of thing. Notifications popping up on my screen. So anyway, let's go back to July. So I think for this last week of June and for like first week of July, I think I'm gonna do Simply Feeling. Like I said, I've been going back and watching my old Simply Feeling videos, and I'm just like, that person was so positive and so happy all the time. And even though I wasn't losing large amounts of weight, because I actually went back to my app, that's actually what made me start looking at my app. Now that I think about it, I went back to my app, I think I did Simply Feeling from March when we all did it as a group. Hi, Cindy. And then all the way through June, it looks like I did it, or July, maybe it was July. So it was like 3 or 4 months that I did Simply Feeling. And in that time, I didn't lose large amounts of weight. When I first started doing it, I lost quite a bit, like in March. If I remember, I had a great March. And that's good to know Mimi. Mimi said that her endocrinologist prefers her to use Truvia and it doesn't affect your sugar. So that's what I think I'm just going to stick to is the Truvia, because I think I did hear that as well. That's why I went to that, because stevia just has too much of a better aftertaste for me. I can't do it. I can do it in baking, but I can't do it. Hi, Sharon. Anyway, so I was watching those old Simply Feeling videos. Even though I wasn't losing a lot amount of weight, I was doing really well mentally on it. And I think it's just because all the foods on there are just such, whole foods. They're foods that I want to eventually eat for the rest of my life. There's sweet potatoes and all that. Whole grains. Now, a few of the things, and I just want to tell you right now in this video, and I'll talk about it when I do my Simply Feeling videos as well the next couple weeks. I am not a Simply Feeling purist, which is almost impossible to do that, and that's what they call them, is Simply Feeling purist. Even when I did Simply Feeling before, I was not, and now it's even harder to be one when Weight Watchers doesn't support the program anymore. And the only reason why I think they don't support it anymore is because I think that Freestyle was supposed to kind of be a morph of Simply Feeling and Freestyle with the 0 point foods and all that. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. So I think that's why they got rid of it. but to me it's different. It is different, and you don't, because it's more about intuitive eating. Really, you eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're full, you use all these whole ingredients. Like I said, the only thing I maybe disagree with is the fat-free dairies, but other than that, I'm okay with the rest of the things. Also, oh yes, so how I'm not a purist. So the breads, I cannot stand that Sara Lee bread. I even ate it when I did calorie counting. I cannot stand it. I feel like it's too thin. I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy the Ezekiel bread. I like the taste of that really hearty. I just love like hearty breads. And I really enjoy that, hearty, thick bread. And so I do use the Ezekiel bread, which I can't. So I had somebody mention the Schmidt's 647 bread. Jessica over at Weight Watching Mama talks about that bread constantly. I don't think they sell it over here in Oregon. That's the only thing with where I live. It's really hard to find certain things. Certain brands are just not over on the West Coast, I don't think. Yes, someone mentioned avocado. So Sharon mentioned avocado. Yes, avocado is not part of the plan. However, many of us count avocado as our healthy oil because there are healthy oils you can have, and I think you can have, is it 1 tablespoon a day, something like that? And I don't even think avocado oil is one of those oils on there, but that's what I prefer to use. And also a lot of them just use avocado in place of their healthy oil for the day. So that's what people do. Again, you're just not being a simply feeling purist, which is fine. You just work the program the way you want to work it, and you're still eating whole, clean foods. So the bread is one way. And also Molly always brings up, which I think Molly over at Classical Molly, she brings up all the time, which is is genius, is that like up in Canada, you can't get light bread in Canada, so they're allowed to use the Ezekiel bread. Well, when Simply Feeling was supported, they were allowed to use Ezekiel bread because in Canada you can't get light bread. Well, besides them being in a different country, we're still the same people, so why can't we use Ezekiel bread? It makes total sense, right? So I prefer Ezekiel bread, which is funny because when I was watching my old videos, I was like, oh yeah, I used it back then too. I completely forgot that I used Ezekiel bread when I did Simply Feeling. So those are just some things that I will be doing differently. But and also some of my, like, turkey bacon is something that I don't like. Regular bacon, but turkey bacon I love. And I know you guys, I know I don't like bacon, but I just don't. But turkey bacon I really like. And turkey bacon, there's like literally, if I remember right, there's only like one kind of turkey bacon that is even Simply Filling, and it was ridiculously expensive. And I'm sorry, I'm not spending like $8 on a pack of bacon. I rather count the 1 or 2 points. I get the Jenny O bacon most of the time, and I just count 1 or 2 points for it, however many slices I have. So there's gonna be a few recipes I have coming up that are not completely Simply Filling. Another thing I always count points for, no matter what, like I said, fat-free half and half years ago was on the Simply Filling list. When the new list came out, it wasn't on there anymore, and I still would count my fat-free half and half as Simply Filling because it had been on there before. So, I mean, and it's 20 calories for a tablespoon, but now I use just regular half and half, but I will probably switch to using skim milk because I don't mind that in my coffee at all. But I do have some half and half to use up, and I don't want to waste it. So I will use up that half and half and just count the points for it. So those are some things you'll see, but you'll have some recipes coming up. And then when I do switch over, because I'm pretty sure I want to try calorie counting again. It's just something I want to do. Now I do still have my Weight Watchers app, and I have iTrack Bites. I had like 2 or 3 months of free months to use of Weight Watchers. Like they kept adding on free months, and I think I had some credits or something to use through my work. And so I actually have the Weight Watcher app until August 19th, I think is my cutoff date. And then I have the iTrack Bites. Now, I am not going to use the iTrack Bites to count my calories. And I'll talk more about this in a separate live chat when I do that, move over to that. But what I was going to tell you guys basically is I'll still give you the smart points for things. That way you guys still have the points for everything. But For me, I need to see if, because a lot of you have been saying, maybe you're not eating enough calories, maybe you're eating too many calories, because we can't see that on Weight Watchers. Now, yes, for those of you who have eye track bites, you can count your calories at the same time as your points on there. However, I don't think it's very accurate. And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I don't want to do a bunch of like double, like to go back and forth and see like, okay, because I'm gonna use my Fitness Pal. That's what I've always preferred to count calories and macros. Now, if you could do macros, calories, and points on track bites at the same time, that would be fantastic. And then I could really see if I thought that it was accurate or not. But I feel like my calories are so low when I track calories with my points on track bites. I really feel like it's super low. Let me know if you guys have that same experience. I just feel like it's not very accurate. So I will be using my Fitness Pal, but I will take some time to figure out the points for you guys, so you guys have the points as well. And I don't really think the food's gonna be that drastically different. I just need to see what I am eating. I'm thinking maybe I'm not getting enough fiber in, which is a huge problem for my body. If I don't get enough fiber in, that I already know causes huge digestive issues if I don't get enough fiber. So I want to track my fiber. I want to track my sugar, because that's something I really need to pay attention to. I want to track my sodium, because again, that's something I really need to watch, is my sodium. Although I do, if you guys watch me for a long time, you guys know I don't like salt. I don't salt my food, but I do use onion salt. And I do use seasoning salt occasionally, but I don't salt a lot of my food, and I buy like either low sodium or no salt foods, and when I buy anything in a canned. So my sodium I think is probably okay, but there's a lot of natural sodium occurring in foods that I'm curious about. So I'm gonna track my sodium. I need to track my potassium, because my last blood test did show I was low in magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So yeah, big surprise, I'm low in sodium. So I am taking a supplement for that. So that, I feel like when he does he's gonna do my levels again in July. So we'll see if taking these supplements has helped at all. But I want to just track those, and my Fitness Pal tracks all of that stuff, and so it's gonna be good. And I'm gonna do it kind of lower carb, because again, I know that my body does much better on lower carb. Now that's where I'm thinking Simply Filling, I'm hoping I don't have a huge gain, because I have noticed on these weeks that, like this last week, I did super low carb this whole last week or two, that I've had 2 losses. So I think that says a lot, that when I'm seeing, and that's another thing too, when I look through that Happy Scale, all my logbook, they call it a logbook on Happy Scale, and all my weights, the days that I did have some carbs were the days that I had a huge spike in my weight. So yeah, I don't have a Fitbit. I need to get a Fitbit, because you can track your calories on your Fitbit also. So for those of you who didn't know that, you can. And yes, this is something that Corinne said. Is it Corinne or Corinne? Sorry. Says, I think Weight Watchers is great for creating a healthy mindset around food. Yes, definitely. That's why I love Weight Watchers. But when it comes to weight loss, counting calories is the best, most accurate method for weight loss. I think I have to agree right now. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go back to counting calories, and I'm going to see what's going to happen. But that's one thing that Weight Watchers has definitely done for me, has made me realize these are the foods I need to be eating. The 0 point list of foods is what I want to be eating. The Simply Filling food list is what I want to be eating. But I think I need to really watch how many, like the rice and the potatoes are like free on Simply Filling. So I need to be really careful with how many of those that I eat. And that's not the premise of Simply Filling. Simply Filling is you eat, you don't weigh, you don't measure, you just eat the foods, you stop when you're full. So I'm afraid that if I venture too much into the carb heavy stuff, I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do very good. So I'm gonna do, kind of a lower carb. I'm just gonna, mentally do that. But when I count calories, I think I'm going to do, just try to do like 20% of my day for carbs, and then even out the rest between protein and fats. And I might make the fats a little bit higher, because I do believe things like avocado is very important for you to eat, and it has the potassium that I need as well. And and using like any olive oil or avocado oil, I think it's much better for you than that stuff in the spray can. So I think I'm gonna go back. Like I'm not, like I said, I'll be using my MyFitnessPal. Absolutely love it. I was on it for years before Weight Watchers, but I am just still gonna kind of keep track of the points. Now, one thing that I was teetering on, and I'm just going to throw it out here just to let you guys know. So recently my mom was down here and she's been doing keto for a while, off and on for a while, and I think my sister did it too. All of our family were kind of spread out, and so we don't, get together a whole lot. But my mom has pretty much the same, like, she has the thyroid issues, and we have a lot of the same, like, kind of the same body type, except she's like 5'9" and I'm 5'5", but, we have the same type. And I also have a bunch of coworkers that do keto and love it. And it's just something that's been on the back of my mind. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to do the lower carb when I'm tracking on MyFitnessPal, just to see, is this something that I can even do? Because I think the calories that I figured out is like 1,450 calories a day is what I think I was doing before. Of course, I was at a heavier weight then. I was like at 280 pounds when I first started calorie counting. And I think my calories at that point actually were like 1675, I want to say. And then when I got down to, but right before I started Weight Watchers, I think my calories were down to 14 something. There was an old, I don't even know if I can find the calculator anymore. I have to go find it. There was an old calculator out there that you could calculate your how many calories you should have in a day. And then from there, you can figure out what your macros would be. So there's pretty easily calculation. It's just, there's so many calories per gram of fat and per, gram of protein, that kind of thing. But there's also websites out there that'll figure it out. So if I remember right, it was like 50 grams of carbs a day. And so I'm not sure, like, I want to see how it's going to be, but I don't know. I mean, if I don't do anything, I'm just going to see how July goes, I'm just going to see how July goes with the Simply Feeling and then with the calorie counting, and just see how things go, see how I feel, see what my doctor says, and when I go in there and see him in July, and we'll just go from there, and we'll see how life is. But let me see. Let me go through some of these. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Okay, someone says, is there any way on WW app to check daily calorie intake? No. But a lot of people have switched over from the Weight Watcher app over to iTrack Bites, but which I did because I just didn't want to spend the money anymore. I was spending $20 a month on the Weight Watcher app, and I feel like the iTrack Bites, I liked how you could go switch between the programs, because that's another thing I should mention too, is that I did do Points Plus for a while. Because I never had been on Points Plus ever before, because when I started Weight Watchers, so I think I saw somebody else ask me how long I've been on the program. I started in February of 2016, at the end of February of 2016. So it's been over 3 years. And in that time, when I first started Weight Watchers, I think I was 234. And then my lowest weight has been 185. And I know a lot of people don't like to throw their weight out there, but you guys, it is what it is. I don't care, it is what it is. So whatever, I can't figure that out in my head. 234 minus 185. That is the most that so it'd be what, 40 something pounds, 45 pounds, I think is what it was. So as you can tell, I went from 280 to 234 doing calorie counting. So almost the exact same weight, really, ironically, it's almost the exact same. Only thing in calorie counting, I started doing that in 2015. And so it took me about a year or so to lose that. It was almost exactly a year, I think. I did a bunch of really bad things before that. Like I did that HCG diet where you eat 500 calories a day and you take these little drops in your mouth. That was the worst thing I could have ever done. I did that. I did a bunch of pretty much any kind of diet out there that I did it before I discovered calorie counting and counting your macros. And so it was about right around February 2015. So I remember going to the doctor and I was like, you know, was like 280 pounds. And it was just like, what the heck? Like, when did that happen? And so then I started doing the calorie counting. Yes, we can. I'm sorry, I did not notice Mr. Luther here. Okay, he's gone. Sorry about that, guys. Did he go away? Okay, yes, there he is. I know, I'm gonna have to, I'm my own monitor, Dee Dee. So I'm gonna have to, maybe one of these days if I can like ask one of you guys to be my monitor the next time. Now where was I going with that? So somebody from Oklahoma, Tennessee, Canada. So, okay, so yeah, so I lost pretty much the same amount, but only on Weight Watchers has like been 3 years. And I think that's why I'm just getting kind of discouraged. But I think it's me, honestly. I don't think it's the program because it's really not much different than calorie counting. I just think that I am losing my focus is what it is. I'm losing my focus, and I think I need to do something different to kind of regain my momentum, regain my motivation, regain my focus, and then we'll go from there and we'll just see what happens. So I don't know, like I said, I'm still gonna be eating the same foods. I'm still gonna be doing the same things on my channel. Yeah, you guys, Corinne is right. People are crazy. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize how long it had gone, how many messages he had put out there. But I will still be doing cook with me's. I will give you guys the points. I'll still be doing my meal preps. My meal prep is something I've been doing long before YouTube. I love meal prepping. I just think that you should do that. Even if you're not on any kind of weight loss journey, if you're just out there, just do meal prepping. It's fantastic. But I will continue to do all the same things. Definitely, I'll just be sharing what my calories are and my macros and all that. As well as the smart points and stuff will be like in the description box. But anyway, we'll talk all about that more later when the time comes. So anyway, we'll just see how it goes. Sorry, I'm just getting to, all these people, my goodness, people. I guess when you just do live channels, live videos, I think people just see them, I guess. I don't know. So I'll still, everything is going to still be the same. It's just going to be a little bit different. And the food actually will probably be the same. It's just going to be a little bit information that I'm giving. But like I said, for these next 2 weeks, I really will be doing Simply Filling, and I will be sharing a lot of recipes with you guys on that. And yes, the bullet journaling. Somebody says that they really like the bullet journaling, and they want to do it. Yes, just have to jump in and do it. I absolutely love it. I can talk more about that in another video, maybe another live chat. I can do talk about bullet journaling. Honestly, I did not think I would like it because I'm not artistic, and I love to be creative, but I'm not very creative. Does that make any sense? It's like I love to create things, but it's hard for me to come up with ideas to be creative. And it's just so much fun though. The Fox Journal, it just did not work out for me. Somebody asked about the Fox Journal. It just didn't work out for me. The bullet journaling, I think I like it because it's really therapeutic for me to, sorry. I have a speech problem if you don't know. Oh my gosh, how did he get back? I just blocked him. Anyway. So just mapping out my week is really fun. I like to do the coloring, that's really fun. I don't know, it's been really fun to do. It's kind of like when you do your nails and all of that. I'm getting rid of him. There we go. It's kind of like when you're sitting there doing your nails. It's just, you kind of just get lost in the moment, and I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm going to be actually working on my bullet journal tonight if I can get my meal plan done. I'm having a hard time with my meal plan. See, you guys, my inspiration and my motivation is just not here. So I'm just hoping that throwing myself into a couple new things with the Simply Filling, is not new, but it's an old new. Throwing myself into that, just trying something new, I think is going to really help me. But like I said, nothing's going to change on here. You're going to see the same the same content. And but for any of you guys who've ever been curious about Simply Filling, then I think you guys are going to like it. I think you're going to like seeing the different recipes and utilizing that list. I will have the list linked down below in the description box. And also I will have a link to my playlist. I have quite a few videos in my playlist, even if they're not titled. I thought some of them were not Simply Filling videos when I went to start watching some of them, but I just don't have, and all the titles don't say Simply Filling, but all of the videos in that Simply playlist are all Simply Filling. There's grocery hauls in there, there's meal preps in there, and there's what I ate videos in there. So when am I starting it? I probably should start it today, but I want to use up my half and half and all that. But you will start seeing videos about it tomorrow when you see my grocery haul, Sunday when you see my meal prep, and then I will record all my food next week. I'll record all my dinners Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll put up a video like Thursday night or Friday morning when you can see all my dinners that we're Simply Filling. I'll do 2 days of eating and post that on Wednesday, and I'll do a couple of recipe videos. So you guys will see a lot next week and the week after of Simply Filling, and kind of just to see what it's all about. Also check out Molly and Cherie. They're both doing it. They've been doing it this entire month, so all their videos this last couple weeks have been Simply Filling, so check them out. They also probably have playlists from when they did it before. Am I going to do intermittent fasting? I'm really just going to take it. What I've been doing even these last couple weeks, and that's another new thing I kind of did this week, was I just listened to my body. When I was hungry, I ate. So most mornings I woke up not very hungry. So I just packed up my breakfast, took it to work, and I usually ended up eating around 9:30 or so. And I normally stop eating at night around 7 because we go to bed usually around 9:30. And so I like to make sure I stop eating a couple hours before. And so what would that be, like 8, 9? That would be about a 14-hour fast. So my body is naturally fasting about 14 hours, which they say with women, 14 hours is a good amount of time for fasting. So, so technically, yes, I've been drinking tea. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So next week's live, hopefully as long as it works out okay. The only reason why it would ever change is if my husband didn't go to work or something, and I'd have to either get him out of bed so I could come in here and do the live, or do it later on in the day. But I was thinking for next week's live, because it's the end of the month, that I do a live favorites video. So what would you guys think about that? Do you want to see where I show all my favorites that I've had for the month of June, and just kind of like how I used to do it in a whole video, a sit down video? I just really wouldn't be able to do what I normally do in those, and I do a lot of close-ups on the different products, but I could just do as much of it as I can on here. And a lot of it maybe just be talking about some of my favorites, because I didn't really plan this right now. And so I haven't been saving a lot of the boxes, but I could just talk about them and maybe find some, I don't know, I can figure it out. But anyway, let me know if that would be a fun. I thought that would be, I could do a really quick, super quick weigh-in, how Simply Filling did for me for the week, and then go into my favorites for the month. So let me know if you think that would be a good live video. And then, oh yeah, people keep mentioning Trim Healthy Mama. I have had a ton of people tell me about that. And so I went and I looked at it, and then like Charity just said, it seems complicated and time consuming. And that's what I don't want. And that's something that I don't need. And that is probably one of the only things that has kept me from doing, going to some of the extreme of I don't know, I don't want to say keto's extreme. I mean, it's extreme to some people, but why I maybe haven't done that kind of thing sooner, because I have to pay so much attention to, so much attention to the, I would like the favorites added, yeah. So anyway, sorry. I wonder if I can get away that the chat's not popping on my screen, because I think that's what's distracting. But anyway, yes. So I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone to things like Trim Healthy Mama and that kind of thing, because I feel like you have to, what's the other one? I'm thinking, oh, the 21-day one, that 21-day fix or whatever. People mentioned that to me, but I feel like with calorie counting and Weight Watchers, it's like a no-brainer. It's either it's this many points or it's this many calories, and that kind of thing. So I feel like I need something simpler, and I feel like if I do anything really super extreme and strict, I'm afraid I won't be able to like it won't last for me. It won't be something sustainable. That's the word I'm trying to find, sustainable. So, um, somebody asked, have you tried going into a studio and talking to a coach? So are you talking about the Weight Watcher studios? If you are, I have never gone to a meeting, and the main reason why is because where I live, there's only just a couple meetings, and I know I saw, Dana, are you still in here? Dana actually lives in my same town. It's kind of funny that she started watching me and she lives in the same town that I live in. The last time I looked up Weight Watcher meetings, there's none on the weekends, which is a bummer. And there's like two of them that are here, and one of them is like at a time where if I got off work just in time and got there, but I would still be late. And then the other time was a time where it's like I would have to go, because since I don't live in town, I'd have to go all the way home. And then by the time I got home, and I had to pretty much just turn around and come back to go to the meet. So the time, it just doesn't work. Just the times just don't work for me. And not having a weekend one that's what I really need, is a weekend one. So anyway, so I've never been to a Weight Watcher meeting, so I've always just done it online, which it worked fantastic for me in the beginning. Again, I think it's me. But anywho, I'm sorry if this was kind of all over the place. This is my first, like I said, my first live by myself. I didn't have anybody backing me up. But I've already been on for an hour. Wow, the hour goes by really fast. So it sounds like a lot of you would love to see the favorites. So I will throw that in next week's live video. So I think I'm just going to do the same time. I'll just see how it works out. I may put a poll out there to see what time, if this is a good time for most people. I definitely will go over to Instagram and do a reminder. I'll get a little more professional about this. And but I think I will next week throw favorites in there and just kind of give an update. And then the one after that, watch for an upcoming video on the whole July challenge. I'll just do that in a whole video by itself so people can go find it. And but I will have the July challenge, like the July calendar over here. Let me see if I can get my little guy to come over here to say hi. Come here. No? No, he's looking at me like I'm crazy. But I will put that in the description box. I will put Molly and Cherie's video down there about Simply Filling. I will just check out the description box. There'll be a lot of stuff down there. So thank you guys so much for coming in here. Oh, let me know real quick though. I want to know how you guys did this week in your weigh-ins. Are you guys still weighing in every week? I want to know how you guys are doing. But I'm glad it worked out so good for so many people for their lunch breaks. So anyway, thank you guys again so much for always being such a support to me and a motivation to me. And this was really fun. So I definitely will be doing these again. And like I said, when I have Fridays off, I'll do them every week. And then when I start going back to work, oh yay, someone lost 3 pounds, dirt therapy and a sweet tea. Thank you, Mimi, about my makeup. I appreciate it. Down 3 pounds, Hannah, fantastic. But anyway, so I may just do these on Saturdays once I have to start going back to work on Fridays. I can just make it a Saturday thing. So anyway, and there's a few of us that are still trying to do some group things for you guys, where there's a few of us on the channel doing a live, so that's in the works as well. But you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm gonna go to Costco. I can't wait. I haven't been to Costco in a few weeks, so I'm gonna go to Costco, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.